The xenobiology lecture hall aboard the Confederation Nexus station hummed with the soft murmur of 100 different species. Melissa Chen sat in the third row, her datapad balanced on her knee as Professor Vic Thar, a mantis-like krell with iridescent carapace, prepared the day's presentation. The course, Death World Ecosystems, a comparative study, had become surprisingly popular since humanity joined the Galactic Confederation 3 years ago. Today, Vic Thar clicked, his translator converting the sounds into standard galactic common. We examined the extinct apex predators of the human homeworld. Earth, as you know, was recently reclassified from a Class 7 to a Class 12 death world after proper assessment. Melissa suppressed a smile. The reclassification had caused quite a stir. Most species considered anything above Class 8 to be essentially uninhabitable. Vic Thar dimmed the lights. The holographic projector flickered to life, displaying a creature that made several students gasp. It was massive, with powerful jaws filled with serrated teeth, each the size of a human hand. "Behold the Carcharodon carcharias, the great white shark," Vic Thar announced gravely. This apex predator dominated Earth's oceans for over 16 million years before its extinction. Note the 300 teeth, the ability to detect electromagnetic fields, and a bite force exceeding 18,000 newtons. A Delphian student, her blue tentacles quivering with fear, raised an appendage. "Professor, surely such a creature could never have coexisted with a sapient species." "Oh, but they did," Vic Thar replied. "Humans swam in the same waters as these beasts. Voluntarily, I might add." The classroom erupted in shocked chittering and whistles. Melissa glanced back at the handful of other humans in the lecture hall. Most were scientists or diplomatic corps members. But in the very back row sat Everett Walsh, a human marine stationed on the Nexus for security detail. He wore his dress uniform, arms crossed, a bemused expression on his scarred face. Vic Thar continued, playing a recording of shark vocalizations, deep, resonant sounds that made the translator sputter and fail. These calls were used to coordinate hunting behaviors. The creatures often hunted in. They don't really make sounds like that. Everett's voice cut through the lecture hall. "Sharks are pretty quiet, actually." Every head in the auditorium swiveled toward the back row. Vic Thar's compound eyes refracted the light into 1,000 confused reflections. "I beg your pardon, Marine Walsh." Everett uncrossed his arms and stood, his 6-foot frame making him tower over most of the other students. "Sharks don't vocalize like that, sir. They're mostly silent hunters. That recording sounds like it's mixed with whale calls or something." Vic Thar's mandibles clicked in irritation. "According to the Galactic Xenobiology Archives." "Yeah, I'm sure the archives are great for extinct species," Everett interrupted politely. "But sharks aren't extinct, Professor." The lecture hall fell into stunned silence. Melissa felt her heart skip. This was going to be good. "Impossible," a Vorlaxian student hissed from her environmental suit. "The records clearly state, the records are wrong." Melissa found herself speaking up, unable to resist. She pulled up her own datapad. Great white sharks are listed as vulnerable, not extinct. There are estimated to be over 3,000 individuals still in Earth's oceans. Vic Thar's antennae drooped. But Earth is a Class 12 death world. Surely you wouldn't maintain such dangerous predators." "Maintain them?" Everett laughed, a sound that made several students flinch. "We protected them, passed laws against hunting them. They're endangered because we almost killed them all, and then felt bad about it." "You felt bad?" A small, rabbit-like Fenith trembled in the front row. "About nearly exterminating an apex predator?" "Well, yeah," Everett shrugged. "They're important to the ecosystem. Plus, they're pretty cool." Vic Thar seemed to recalibrate. "Marine Walsh, you said they don't make sounds like that. This implies direct observation. Have you encountered one of these creatures?" The Marine grinned, and there was something predatory in the expression that made Melissa understand why the other species found humans unsettling. "Sir, I grew up in Hawaii. We saw sharks all the time. Tiger sharks, reef sharks, the occasional great white." "And you coexisted?" the Delphian student asked weakly. "Sure. Most shark species won't bother you if you don't bother them. They're just doing their thing." Everett paused, then added almost casually, "Though I did eat one once." The lecture hall exploded into chaos. Students leaped from their seats, several species making distress calls. One Krilnari fainted outright. Order. Vixthar slammed his manipulator appendage against the podium. Marine Walsh, did you just claim to have consumed an apex predator? Everett looked genuinely confused by the reaction. Yeah? Shark's pretty common where I'm from. We usually grill it, or make it into tacos. Shark fin soup used to be popular, but we banned that because it was wasteful and cruel. You banned it because it was cruel. Melissa heard a student whisper in horror. Not because it was dangerous. There are protocols for hunting them. Everett continued. Catch limits, size restrictions. Shark fishing is actually pretty regulated now. You need a license. You require permission, Vixthar said slowly, to hunt a creature that has dominated your oceans for millions of years. A creature that can bite through metal. A creature that can detect you from kilometers away. Well, yeah, it's only fair. Melissa watched as the professor seemed to have some kind of existential crisis, his mandibles clicking rapidly. She decided to help move things along. Professor, perhaps we should clarify something for the class, she said diplomatically. Humans don't just coexist with apex predators. We have entire tourism industries around them. People pay money to swim with sharks in cages. Or without cages, Everett added helpfully. If you know what you're doing. A Thraxian student raised a clawed hand. Let me understand this correctly. Your species shares an environment with these sharks. You hunt them, but only under strict conditions. You protect them from extinction. You eat them, and some of you swim with them. For recreation. That's about right, Melissa confirmed. And this is considered normal on Earth? Everett and Melissa exchanged glances, then shrugged in unison. Pretty much, Everett said to Vixthar slowly closed his lecture notes. I believe, he said quietly, that I need to completely revise this course curriculum. Marine Walsh, Miss Chun, would you be available to consult on what humans actually consider normal regarding predators? Sure, Everett grinned. Wait until you hear about the Australians who wrangle crocodiles. The fainting Krilnari didn't wake up for another 10 minutes. As the class dismissed early, Melissa gathered her things and walked toward the exit. Everett fell into step beside her. You know they're going to freak out when they find out about bear attacks, he said conversationally. Melissa laughed. Or that we kept wolves as pets and turned them into dogs. Oh man, don't even get them started on dogs. I brought my German Shepherd to the station once for a visit. Security thought it was a military combat beast. Wasn't she trained for security work? Well, yeah, but she also wore a tutu at my niece's birthday party. They walked through the corridor as other students gave them a wide berth, whispering among themselves. Melissa had gotten used to the mixture of fear and fascination that humans inspired in the galactic community. You know what the funny thing is? Everett said as they reached the transit hub. We're not even the scariest thing from Earth. What do you mean? He smiled, that predatory grin again. Wait until they find out about dolphins. Those things are smart, they're pack hunters, and they're mean as hell when they want to be. Melissa shook her head, grinning. Humanity, F******, yeah? Damn straight, Everett replied. See you at next week's lecture? Wouldn't miss it for the galaxy. As they parted ways, Melissa couldn't help but think that humanity's integration into the Galactic Confederation was going to be far more entertaining than anyone had anticipated. Especially when the other species discovered that humans considered themselves the planet's endangered species protectors, not the ones who needed protecting. Behind her, she heard a group of students discussing whether they should add Earth to the list of restricted travel destinations. Melissa just smiled. Wait until they found out about the humans who swam with sharks without cages, not hunted them, not studied them, just swam with them for fun and